Our next two themes of geography are human-environment interaction and movement. Here are our objectives. The question for human-environment interaction is, how do people change and adapt to the environment? So we're looking at what are some ways that people change the environment, or what are some ways that people adapt to the environment. There is a relationship between people and their environment. People use and change the environment to meet their needs. If they can't change the environment, then people have to learn to adapt to the environment. Often people in similar environments can adapt in different ways. So how people have adapted in Alaska might be very different than the way people have adapted in Norway. Humans adapt to the environment by wearing appropriate clothes in different weather types, modifying their environment, using heaters in the winter. People depend on the environment, so we need to make sure that farmers have adequate water to grow crops. So let's look at that first one. You're not going to wear the same thing if you live in Alaska than if you live in Hawaii. Your clothing will be very different. As far as modifying your environment using heaters, if we think back when we were looking at the tilt of the earth, and we talked about if you live up there close to the Arctic Circle and you have nearly 24 hours of sunlight, you're going to have to adapt your environment by using some blackout curtains. So you do have that nighttime hours. Your body needs that. Movement is just the way that people move goods, ideas, people, goods, and ideas from one place to another. That's the question. How do people move? How do people, goods, and ideas move from one place to another? So here are some examples of ways that people, ideas, and products move from place to place. So you've got people moving in cars, trains, by foot, bicycle, airplane. Those are different ways you can move people. Products, you've got these cargo ships and then tractor trailers to move goods from one place to a next. Amazon, FedEx, UPS are really good at moving goods from one place to another. And then the movement of ideas is, we've got computers, we've got books. Before that happened, the way that ideas moved was from people to people interaction. So when you had the colonization period where explorers were going out and colonizing these different areas, they brought new ideas and new languages to different areas. There are three major types of movement, and we use this to look at movement a little more. Linear distance and time distance are really easy. Linear distance is just how far did it take, how far is it from point A to point B? How far is it? Time distance, how long did it take to get from point A to point B? And then psychological distance is, it refers to the way people perceive distance. So the example there, an unfamiliar place may seem farther than familiar ones. A better example for me is, think about going on vacation. So you're going to Disney World. It seems like it takes forever to get there. And then when you come home, you blink and you're already home. And that's because you're anticipating, you're excited about getting there. So it seems to take a lot longer to get there than it does to get home, even though your linear distance and your time distance haven't changed. It's just that perception. People all over the world depend on each other. So this is another thing as far as movement. We talked a little bit about the people needing resources. There might be some places that have natural resources and some places that don't, and that causes people to interact with each other. And that's all we've got for human environment interaction and movement.